Hi, I'm Kenzie Wolk. I'm a mural artist out of St. Genevieve, Missouri. Been living in St. Genevieve since 2008 and doing art almost pretty much my whole life. Okay, so Perryville found one of my old murals that I had done in another town and contacted me about doing something for their square. So they've done a couple different murals here in their town square, and they've hired different artists for all of them. So I guess it was my turn. So this mural was supposed to be a welcoming mural to the town of Perryville, but they also wanted to add in a few bright flares to it. So it's not just the old Main Street, old buildings, that's in there, but we also added in this red GTO for a flare of color, which is actually just the same as the building owner. He has an old GTO like this also. And then we added the flags to frame it and add a lot of color to it. And then the building that this is painted on used to be, I believe the Peevely Cafe is what it was called. So we added in the old Peevely sign as it looked years ago. So there's a lot of generations that were here when that was actually up and running.
I'm Caitlin Apt. I'm from St. Genevieve, Missouri. I grew up and was born and raised there. And then I went to Cape Girardeau to go to SEMO, which I just graduated this past weekend with a degree in sculpture, emphasis in sculpture, and a minor in psychology. This piece will remain here for a year, and they gave me a grant to bring it here and also kind of as, I guess, a rent to hold it. But yeah, so this will stay up for a year, and that's just part of the showing. It's basically like a long-term exhibition, sculpture exhibition. Yeah, so after I sketch out all of my plans on my paper or on the big sheets of metal, I'll take it to our giant shear that we have in the studio and cut it up in basic shapes. And then I'll take it to the other shear. It's a little bit smaller, and I have to manually cut it into smaller, more rounded shapes. And from there, I just kind of build it up from the base. I started with my base and cut out those main shapes and either use my body or other machines to contort it, twist it. Sometimes I end up like holding it with my feet, stepping on it, pulling it out. I can jump on things. I'll use a hammer to beat it to get the shape that I want. And then if I get 2 or more pieces that match up right, I'll weld them together, which I call a spicy glue gun. So I just spice it together and go about it. And I slowly move about my sculpture, building up, and I just do a few tacks at a time. So like one here, one here, one here, one here, if I were to build this whole thing. And then I'll continue throughout the shape.